Hey YouTube, it's GuppyKid540, and I'm just bringing you another video on my guppies. So I think it's been about half a year since I've actually made a video, and with time comes change, so just wanted to show you guys some things that changed in my 26 gallon. Some of you might have noticed that I have a different pretty much a background now, and my Java fern has grown a lot. Since that video of how to plant Java fern, it's populated a lot. And that's just the benefits of having Java fern. It does the trick in getting lots of plants for you. And another change I had is I possibly have more guppies than my previous video. I originally had 48 adult guppies, and 11 baby guppies, which puts it up to a total of 59 guppies, and that's not even including the other fish I have, like my mollies and my swordtails and my tetras and cories. So I had a lot of fish in my aquarium, so I had to get rid of my guppies. Now, I didn't throw them out or anything and give them for free. I just sold them for $1 each, and I've made some good money, some profit. I was able to sell up to, let's say, 38 guppies, approximately, over 30 guppies, but I kept all the best ones for myself, and all the guppies in this aquarium I bred. So let's take a look, just look, this is one guppy I bred. I have 3 really nice males, so there's one male, there's another male, and where's the other male? And there's my other male. So these guys are going to be the basis of my guppy breeding program. This aquarium is pretty much a community tank so far, and here are just some of my baby guppies. So I just can get this higher and just take you a bit closer to my guppies. I think I have over 10 in there. I like it. I found a way to keep the population under control in a guppy aquarium, because guppies tend to overpopulate quite often. In this case scenario, I had a lot of guppies, including with other fish, and I had to sell them off, which is a bonus to me because I make money. So one way I keep the population under control is a lot of guppy breeders recommend you take a pregnant female and you put her in some sort of breeding cage where she can breed and the guppies are safely contained away from other males, and including the female that's breeding herself. So what I do, instead of doing that, because female guppies can give birth up to more than 30 fry at a time, which is a lot, and considering they do this about every month, and considering that also males really like to mate, so you get a ton of guppies as a result. And if you don't have an aquarium room, what are you going to do about that? Then you're going to get spiked ammonia levels and etc. So what I do is I keep this fry net or fry trap, whatever you call it, and I just let the pregnant female kind of give birth in the aquarium during night. Now what happens is all the baby fry are always seeking for protection. And if you look, the back here has a little tiny slit. So the back over here, baby guppies are just going to hide in there. And if you see, there's like a little opening for small guppies to go and hide. And then the older guppies, they have no way to get them unless they're really small. And if you're a really small guppy, you really don't care about what's in there. So not only does this keep the population under control, it also gives me a stronger strain of guppies. They're like more fit. Let's put it out in the way. The weak guppies usually just die, and it's mainly the survival of the fittest, which means it's like a win-win situation: population under control and you get strong guppies. Another tip on aquarium, like breeding guppies, is trying to keep the temperature not too high. I read a forum not long ago about temperature. Like, one guy's heater broke, and he ended up with no heater, and the water got low as 18 degrees Celsius, which is, I guess, pretty cold for guppies that live in warm water, tropical water. But what happened was they adjusted to it, because it takes quite a bit time for the water to change to room temperature. So because they're cold-blooded, they adjusted to the water, and as they adjusted, they became more resistant to, I guess, sorts of diseases. And because their metabolism is much slower compared to that in warm water, you don't really need to feed them much, so they don't get fat either. But if you do overfeed them, they could die. So yeah, the guppies end up becoming strong. So in a way, it's strong in a way as in, like, I guess, fighting off disease. I don't know if this is like scientifically proven. It's just some theory. And I'm keeping the temperature. Like, let me just check the temperature. It's really, the heater is keeping the temperature at about 20 degrees, about there. Just put the heater back in. It's keeping it at a good 20 degrees. So yeah, there were no problems. And another thing I have to say about my aquarium would be how I release my guppies. Some beginners usually have a tough time on realizing when to release a guppy and from the fry thing, and when not to release a guppy. And some people keep them in there until they're like as big as that guppy right there. Wait, can you see it? Wait. Those guppies, those small ones, they keep them in those things till they're that big, which, you know, these fry things stunt their growth because of the small room. They have to grow much slower in order to, I guess, get used to the overall size of the place they're living in. So what I do is, here's an example of how big the guppies I release are. They're about 5 centimeters, no, 4 centimeters, not even. They're pretty small. They're not small. This is how you can tell when a guppy is ready to go out. When they can eat by themselves, when they immediately respond to feeding. So, like, if you put food in your fry net thing, and if they come up immediately and want to eat, then you know that they are ready. And when they're big enough, so that they can't fit in the guppy's mouth. So let's say they can't fit in this swordtail's mouth, then you know they're big enough to swim around. And you have to, so like, comparing the size of that guppy to the mouth of this swordtail is pretty close. Like, it could be a fit. But since they're smaller, they're really fast, so they survive. So as a result, guppies are smaller. They go in there smaller. I guess they're pretty small compared to every single other guppy out there. And they pretty much survive. Some of the weaker guppies usually end up dying because they're not fast enough to get away from these guys, the smallie. So yeah, this is the end of my video here, and thanks for watching.